Hey guys, welcome back. Um, we're going to talk about today's cigar. You see it on the screen. If you're a cigar smoker, you know off back that this is the number one voted cigar in 2020. This is the Pledge Prequel by Perez Carrillo or EP, however you want to call it, however you want to say it. But let's get back. This is the highest rated, once again stated, cigar of 2020, right? Granted, this is 2024. Um, the cool thing about this, I had bought 20 cigars and I smoked it. And this is early on, 4 years ago. I really wasn't um, so much in the know of cigars at that time. And like I said, I've been smoking cigars for about 10 years. But like in 2020, doing, the crisis, the world shared crisis of Corona, I got into it, right? So, I doubled down on cigar smoking because it was the only thing I could do solo in the house that gave me some free time and peace of mind outside of work. Um, so, yeah, but this was the number one rated cigar during that year. Um, and when I would say this with a grain of salt. With a grain of salt, take this with a grain of salt. I didn't rate it. I believe it was number one rated by Cigar Aficionado. The cool thing about that, right, which really got me into this. Well, I'll slow down. With the thing that stuck out to me about that cigar, about that rating, was that was one of the highest rated ever. I believe it had a rate of 98. That's insanely high for a cigar, right? Anything that's rated at 98 or anything to me is pretty high on the scale of 100. 98 is it's almost perfection. That's almost, you know, dare I say it, would this make it the best cigar in the world, right? Um, you do your research, you do your taste tests, you let me know, put it in the comments. But what at the time I have two of these cigars, right? I bought both of these cigars in 2020. Before it was the number one rated, I would just happen to be at the local shop around my house when he got a box of these in. It was probably late in 2020, if I recall, maybe closer to 2021, I believe. Um, but I want to purchase in two, so I kept one in the humidor, and I smoked one early on. Maybe it was Christmas or maybe New Year's of that season. I actually kept one in the humidor. This is that one. I am going to smoke this today. Today is January 6th, 2024, and I'm gonna smoke this today just because it's a good day. I am a sports fan. You will hear this theme throughout my videos. The Bears beat the Packers today. Open up the humidor to celebrate because it's been a rough season, rough season for us. But hey, we beat the Packers, so it's always time to celebrate. And I seen this, and I just want to talk about it a little bit. Another thing that I want to point out, right? That going back to that 98 rating, I believe the last time they got this a cigar got rated that high was a cigar that was smoked in 1993. And then if I remember correctly of reading that story, at that time, sorry, that was a dryer. I go get that or edit it out. Maybe not. It's life. Um, yeah, and I do laundry. I like a clean ass. Um, but yeah, at that time, this was the highest rated cigar in 1993. The second highest. Sorry, it threw me off a little bit. It was the highest rated. The second rating was done in 1993, or the 98. The second 98 rating. The first. This is the second. The first was in 1993. What I'm trying to say here. Sorry for the stumbling. Like I said, it kind of threw me off. My dog snoring in the background too. Um, it woke her up and got her shuffling as well. But the cool thing about that one that was rated in 88 and 1993, I believe that was a tobacco that was rolled 50 years prior. So maybe like rolled in 1930. Do the math. Yeah, I don't know. It was 30 years, 35 years prior, or something like that. It was something crazy. So it was almost, technically almost a 50-year old cigar that's in the humidor. And when it got smoked, they rated it 98 in 1993. That's crazy to me. And what's crazy to me, with that all being said, is this is a $12 cigar. Um, I don't know how much the cigar cost when they wrote it in 1935. I don't know how much it cost in 1993, but I can presume that was more than it was in 93 than it was in 1935. Inflation. We all living through it right now. Like I said, this is a 4-year-old cigar. I don't know how much this is running now, but I did just buy a box of these 10 for like 250, 225 maybe. I ordered some other stuff. So I think the price was 225. So that's still putting it in that range of almost, maybe it was a box of 20. That's almost $20 a cigar. I had to think about that. I'm gonna double check that right quick and get back to you guys, that receipt. But I did just buy a box of these. And I do buy cigars a lot, so I don't want to, you know what I mean? So I double check that price. But grandstanding, when this original purchase came out, these were $12. So if they went up in 4 years, $3 or $4, that's pretty big in the cigar world. Because if you initially price to make profit and then it goes up in value because of reputation, $3, that's solely 100% profit. So if it goes up 11%, 5%, and all 5% of every cigar batch box or something sold, you magnify that out per cost per shipment. That's big, right? So I will say that what I am gonna do, I am gonna fire this up, and I'm gonna smoke this while watching the football game today, and we're gonna just sit here and chat to you guys on today's episode of Conversations Around Smoke. And let's get to it. I did, first of all, let's talk about the wrapper. I did put it on. Let's talk about this. As you're gonna look at it, I'm not gonna really do too many touching on this. I try to, light it as best I could. This is a 5x50 cigar. Very, very short body cigar. This one is wrap tight. It is box press. It is, for me, it is a beautiful wrapper. I don't actually. Let's see. Let me see what I got notes right here. Let's see what kind of. I don't remember what the filling in it was in this. Let's see. Off the top of my head, I believe it's Dominican. But and I know it's a medium to full body strength for But yeah, let's get it. Let's not talk about it. Let's get to it and then see how it goes. Um, for me, I usually leave the wrappers on until I get to that segment. I just like to know what I'm smoking, so when people come and ask me what I'm smoking, I can let them know. But I will check in with you guys periodically through this process. Man, right off top, This is a very flavorful cigar. Um, yeah, this is as I remember. Like I enjoyed it last time I had the cigar. I will give you guys that. Um, but man, um, very flavorful on the first draw. Just very, very bold. You get yeah. I'm trying to I'm thinking, man. Just see what these flavors as I'm tasting. Um, you get a little, you get a little. It's an earthy tone here, but you do get some peppery tones here. Um, I don't know if I taste coffee. And I'm one of the rare cigar drinkers. I mean smokers. Sorry, drinkers. I'm drinking too as well. Beverage of choice today is Crown Royal Apple with a little ginger ale. That's my lazy man drink. But I do get a little coffee taste, and I say coffee because you know that's what I believe it is. I'm not a coffee drinker, not one bit. People be shocked when they done this. I never tasted coffee in my life, so for me to say coffee sometimes, I can only imagine that taste. It's a taste that I can't recall. So I smoke a lot of cigars, so I say coffee taste. It kind of, I guess, that bitterness taste to it, but it's not like super bitter. It's hard to explain. But I do get a dark leather, um, a lot of black pepper. Like Indian for me is enjoyable. It's not like it's a perfect blend. Like yeah, I hate to say that, use that word, perfect blend with a cigar that's 98 rating. I need to come up with a better word, but it's a good blend just with the first draw. Um, it's not overwhelming. Um, yeah, we'll take another pull here in a minute, another draw. And it's a very well constructed, cigar. Yeah, so while I was, letting that sit there and, wind down, I took another draw here. I did pick up some notes here. Um, the country of origin for this cigar, Dominican Republic. Sorry, Jesus. Binder is Ecuadorian. Filler is Nicaraguan. Length is 5 inches. Ring gauge is 50. Yeah, MSRP $11. They said box is 107, so yeah, there's double now. Just because of the year. Release date September 5th, 2020. September 15th, 2020. So yeah, that aligns to what I stated. Like I bought these. Um, this one I'm smoking on, and the first one I had, I bought them around Christmas time of 2020. So that aligns. Number of cigars, regular production. Yeah. Um, yeah, this is good smoke. This is a great smoke. Smoke cam right there. Um, yeah, yeah, man. And I'm just sharing my love with you guys. I'm not gonna be every YouTuber. This is, I call this YouTube page cigar um, conversations around smoke. I am gonna have a couple guests on here, but I'm not trying to flood you guys with interviews and telling you guys what to do. I just want you guys to love what you love, right? And I'll starting to fall in love with cigars to the point where it's enjoyable, and I just want to share that passion with you guys. I'm not the type of guy. Let me get him some brand and recognition here. Show the name, just in case if you guys want to see that. Yeah, I do them a solid. But I'm not here to push stuff down you guys' throat. This will be an open conversation through the comments. I'm just here to have fun with it. Um, but yeah, this is a very enjoyable cigar. Um, Let me turn around and give you guys a sports update. Dang it, the fucking Jets are beating Miami. And I'm not a Miami fan or a Jets fan, but I do like, if they Miami, if you're into NFL, if Miami win today, they make the playoffs. So that the last week of NFL gameplay is kind of interesting because the teams that want to make the playoffs, um, they're really playing for something, right? And then the teams that are they're already in the playoffs, they're sitting guys, they're getting dressed, they're trying to so the last week in the NFL for for you casual fans out there, this is where I see the separation between men and boys within the gameplay, right? And the reason is you're gonna see some guys that's already checked out trying to plan their vacation because they had they didn't worked on Christmas, they didn't worked on New Year's, they've been working on Halloween, practicing. Today's the last day for the season. Tomorrow they're gonna have exit interviews, and they're pretty much unemployed for 4 months. You know, they're on their summer vacation, as teachers would say. And then those that are game away like Miami, they try to ball out to try to make the playoffs, try to make history. Because once you win, it's a whole new season. So tomorrow is a whole new season in the NFL. Because you're only good as your last game. So if you're in the playoffs, that means everybody's 0-0, 0-0. And I like to see that, right? And I was pulling for Miami because I feel like Miami's one of the teams, even they're 88, so they're 50-50 team. They can do a lot of destruction in the playoffs, and sometimes it's kind of fun to see. So, but they're getting their ass whooped right now, 15-6. But we'll see how it pans out. And I might swear a little bit on here, guys. Just bear with me. Like I said, I'm posting this on YouTube. I don't do a lot of editing on this, and I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. What I do for a living is heavy video and NEV intensive. Final Cut Pro, Premiere, things of that nature. I can edit a movie. Like a lot of these guys don't hear say, I just don't fucking want to do extra work. Sorry, and I'm gonna have to bleep that out because YouTube they don't allow that. I just don't want to task myself with work for something I like to do for fun. I'm gonna take another draw of this to keep it going. Yeah, not trying to task myself with work. Um, just not trying to do it. I'm not. But um, as I get through this, I just want to put my personality on on the camera, get it recorded, my thoughts and opinions. Got a couple interviews lined up. I think I got an interview I'm gonna share with you guys that I got a buddy I work with. He's a comic book collector. Um, like I said, this is gonna be about sharing things I love with other people that may like it, but they also have other loves. And we might sit around, smoke a cigar, and they share their passion. That's what I'm about, and I think that's what I'm gonna use my platform for. So if you know anybody that want to share their love for anything that's respectable, drop a comment. Let's set something up. But yeah, man, this is what I like to do. I like to sit in my basement while I wash clothes and puff a cigar, watch while the football is playing in the background. Oh, did not expect that to happen. Let's get that up, guys. I usually try to let the ads last as long as it can. That was a mistake, but hey, I caught it on camera. It's good for the shot, right? Good for the shot, right? Let's see if I can get that up. Put this Desi is wood in it. It'll burn. I'll clean that up later, but yeah, I don't want the fire there. Don't want the fire there. Yeah, guys. Oh yes, cigars, man. This cigar is excellent. It is a good. Like I hate to say that. I really like this cigar. Like it's crazy, cause me. I'm honest on you. I'm real. I'm honest. I bought a box, just because it was voted cigar of the year, right? In 2020. I had smoked a cigar so long ago that I kind of didn't remember how how it was, how it tasted. But I bought two, right? So when I looked it up, because I do inventory, right? So by me doing this podcast, another thing I did recently humidor, with my humidors, right? I took inventory. So right now I got a real inventory of cigarettes. I mean cigarettes. God, Jesus, cigars, cigarettes. I ain't never smoked a cigarette in my life. Cigars that I took inventory of, um, and I just put them all in a list, in a word list. And then I came across this, and I noticed that it was Cigar of the Year, and I was like, hey, to be honest with you, I am an opportunist. I do know by me having a humidor, a nice ass humidor, that I could buy some cigars in a box, hold them for scarcity. Maybe this will never get scarce, or maybe they will double in price. I don't know, but I am an opportunist in that way. Just to be fair, I'm not a hoarder. I bought a box. Sometimes I buy cigars like this just to be that guy that hands them out to his guys. They're gonna be like, hey man, have you tried the number one cigar of the year in 2020? Sometimes I'm that guy. Nothing wrong with that. Because it's like I said, it's just something I like to share with people. I give cigars out. Actually, I got a box going to my brother right now for Christmas. You know, and this is the thing. This is the cool thing about cigars, man. Once you start sharing it, you start sharing your passion. You find people that there's artists, people in your life already in your life that, well, granted, as you said, you guys see the hand on the screen. I am African American male. It's people in my life that I share this cigar journey with that I didn't even know smoked cigars. Or it's people in your life around you that you introduce to the cigar world, and just little things that you do. Going to the local shops, humidors, going to local cigar and wine and tastings, and you pull people on board with you. So my brother's one of the people I pulled on board with me. That was an excellent thing because that's from the womb to the tomb is what we like to say. I found a young lady that's a family friend since I was a kid. To say 30 years plus, right? She smokes cigars. She's now calling me, telling, "Hey, let's go out to the local smoke lounge or hookah cigar bars, things of the nature in the area." You find older cousins. We have older cousins, 15, 20 years plus, that you think you wouldn't have too much in common besides blood and other things, family inducive. And then, you pick up a cigar and we get to talking and we get to, drilling down. And that's one of them things that for me in this cigar culture that I really appreciate. I appreciate that aspect of storytelling. I appreciate that aspect of court. I guess I don't call it courtship. Appreciate the camaraderie, right, with your fellow smokers. That's something that's very undervalued in this culture, very underappreciated in today's world, right? And I know everybody's on social media and things of that nature. And I get that. Oh, yeah, the pepper is very, very, very prominent once you get third down. It's very prominent. It's a very, yeah, earthy. The earthy leather is now being more pronounced. Um, yeah, it's getting bolder as it's smoking, and it's it's putting a smile on my face. If you can see it, it's a very intriguing cigar. So, um, yeah, but back to the previous conversation. I believe if you can, you know, you know, do anything in life that promotes that type of interaction in today's society, right? When we don't take time away from our phones, time away from our job, a time away from um, things that take our attention in a more so not negative way, but not a non-productive way. And who's to say that me sitting around is unproductive? But I do say it's good for my mental. It's good for my personality. It makes me feel good. Anything that makes you feel good that does not do detriment to society, I'm all for it. So that's why I leave it at. But that's one of the reasons I got into cigars, right? Um, Yeah, the first local cigar bar I went into, or cigar humidor, which had like an outdoor smoking shop. Um, I believe I can't remember the name, and I promise you I'll get the name if it's still in business. But about 11 years ago, I was in Oak Park, Illinois, and it was a shop. And I walked in there. It was a whole bunch of older gentlemen, and I was probably 28 at the time, 29 maybe. And I just walked in, and at that time, right, we getting you out of school, school twice because I got a graduate degree. And I was just trying to find something to do on the patio. So I'm gonna get a cigar. And if you're from Chicago, if you're from Chicagoland, ain't nothing more iconic than that Jordan picture when he got a cigar in his hand. So I was like, I rode past it, did a U-turn, like I'm gonna go get one. Because at that point, right, I may have had a black and mild in my life, but like I never smoked and that's right now, to be honest, and I'm being factual. That's probably the closest thing I ever got to a cigarette, and that just ain't it, right? So when I walked in there, I didn't know what I was doing, and the guy, walked me through it. One thing about me, like I stated, my father's a tradesman, um, and I myself, did some years of film school, got a graduate degree in business, dib dabbed in the commercial and film world. Understand craftsmanship, and then when I went through the cigar humidor, that's the first thing that caught my eye, right? The craftsmanship behind some of this stuff. And this guy walked me through this process of cigars. It honestly brought the kid out of me, and I tell everybody this, right? I share with you guys, right? It made me feel as if I was a kid again, and we was talking about trading basketball cards. We was talking about trading video games. Like these guys were talking about cigars in that effect, and that excited me. Um, at the end of the day, we're very simple people, right? You just want to, you want the things that you fell in love with, but you're trying to transition that feeling into something that you can cherish as a grown man. Like, I don't have the urge right now to buy video games. As much as I did as a kid, I do play. I do got PS5. I do get busy on some NCAA, but some Madden. Didn't catch the 2K bug. But like when I was a kid and basketball cards, baseball cards, um, that was the thing for me, you know, and just keeping that, and then when you go older, it was shoes. Um, but then now that passion, this love turned into cigars. So I think the first thing that caught me was the craftsmanship, and I think the second thing on that same day when he talking about it was the way these guys talked about who was the best cigar, had the flavors, and I just was in the realm of like video games. I was a newbie, and I didn't understand it, so I bought one cigar, which led me to buy two cigars, which led me to buy three cigars. When you get to five cigars, you need something to carry them in. So I bought like a little travel humidor, um, and then you start learning about the temperature you need to be kept in, because once you get five cigars, you start everybody starts off 5, 10, 15, and 20, and then you start getting to like the Tupperware humidors. That was the first thing I did. I lived in a condo, so we did the Tupperware humidors. You build your own, do DIY it style. You know. Yep, and that's how it went for me. Yeah, I had to light it back if you hear the noise. I'm talking too much and no smoking. It kind of went out on me, but we good. Yeah, this is a good smoke. Great smoke. Let me dump some of this ash. Let me turn around and get to the ashtray. One second. yes. But yeah, um, yeah. So yeah, I started off with the DIY style Rubbermaid humidor. But yeah, that's what drew me into it. And then going back, it's cigars doing them things, man. Once you enjoy them and you find it, you give it a place in your life. Like I'm not the guy that's gonna smoke a cigar every day. I'm just not there yet. I'm not in retirement. But on the weekends, holidays, barbecues, um, cruises. Like oh my god, when we went my birthday, we went on a cruise to the Bahamas. I did pick up cigars there. So that's the thing too. Like yeah, I'm gonna share my life with you guys with this, and it's a dope. Um, and I'm one of them guys like I'm not rich, but my life is very rich, and I'm gonna share my dope experience with you guys, and I want you guys to share your dope experience with me. This is not a one way street here. I'm not that guy. So I put your shit in the comments. Please share your life with me. Let's talk. Let's politic. Let's respectively. Let's argue a little bit because I think that builds character. That builds relationships. I'm not here to be, you know, I'm not here to, first of all, like, just get out in here. I'm not here for that trolling shit. Like, don't do that. I don't need you coming on how I lit the cigar and all that. That doesn't matter. Unless I burned the damn cigar, I could knew it. But at the end of the day, if you didn't pay for it, I'm not going to comment on it. And then maybe that's the city boy in me. But, yeah, I'm just trying to, as I say here, smoke my cigar. I think it's the first time I'm sharing some things with you guys. And I just want you guys to maybe listen, comment. This is called Conversation Around Smoke. And I guess this will be the first episode officially where I'm talking and giving you guys conversation. I don't have nobody to talk to, but I don't need nobody to talk to. This is what I'm good at. You dig? Yeah. It says I've been doing this for about 32 minutes now. So I'm going to say this. I'm cutting this stuff off at 35 minutes. We're going to make it even 35, and I'm not editing. There's a couple swear words in here. Maybe a sneak pass, YouTube. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know nothing about that world besides just YouTube. Like, I never post, like I said, I get paid, so I never really post nothing to YouTube. I just give people edits and dailies and stuff like that. So understand the monetization. I can understand it. I just ain't it. That was just never my ram. But I'm gonna get into it now. I'm gonna be a professional right now. You can see my. But other than that, what else can I say about cigars? What else we can say about the cigar? Now, is it worth the 98 rating? I enjoy it. I say it like this. Like I haven't, to be honest, to be fair, I don't smoke cigars for a living. So to be worth a 98 out of 100, I can't say. Leave that professionals. Do what I do say. Is this one of the best cigars I ever smoked and tasted? Yes. Yes. If you guys have not, if I have not said it, one of my favorite brand cigars of all time is my experience. I want to say my lifetime, right? My experience is my father brand. I really enjoy those. I really enjoy the Pledge. I really enjoy those brand. I am an AJ Fernandez friend with the New World. Some of those cigars I kind of enjoy. I do have favorite cheap cigars like the Chillin' Moose. That to me is probably one of my cheapest $3, $5 sticks that I may during the summertime. I keep that on rotation because I maybe like that when I'm smoking and smoke that and while I'm cutting grass. So that's like I used to get a box. The box, hey, for you guys out here that's getting into cigars, that box of 20, I believe, is $60. So early on in my life, that was a box that I could afford. That was a $60 investment that I enjoyed that I could afford. And then with that cigar box, you don't mind sharing, right? A $4 stick that's enjoyable. It's easier to share than this $12 stick, and that just the numbers game, right? I do have some cigars that I've A cigar that I picked up from a friend in Houston. Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, man, went to Houston. Shout out to Cigar International. Oh, it's 35. I'm gonna keep it going. Shout out to Cigar International. We went out there. Uh, they have, excuse me, they have a bar. I think that was Katy, Texas, outside of Houston, actually. But they have a little bar, humidor slash smoke out, cigar lounge. There's a gentleman there. I don't say yeah, gentleman, but he's cousin, older cousin, my senior by 20 years. He got me to try flathead cigars, the by ICAO. Um, these are, and I don't know the gauge on those, but these big boy cigars. Those cigars can easily run $17-$20 per cigar, and he had a box. I didn't, I'm not in the business asking people how much they pay for them. I did procure my own that day, um, but he gave me two for the road, right? So I do have those in the humidor. So those are some that you don't typically want to share. Like I said, he was cousin, senior. He gave me two because I had bought my own. And he was, to be honest with you, a little perplexed about that. Like, what? But, that's just me. Um, don't take freebies. I just want what's mine only. But, he insisted, so I took it. But yeah, man, we're going to definitely get into the business of cigars. Um, to be honest, and I'm going to put it out there, right? Because I believe you got to speak stuff into existence. I'm really on the verge of the last 2 years, and this is just my thoughts, conversation around smoke. I'm really thinking about figuring out how to start my own brand, and that's crazy. You know what I mean? But maybe it's not. My parents said I was crazy for going to film school. You know what I mean? So hey, it is what it is. Um, but yeah, I would love to start my own cigar brand. Uh, right now we're in the research phase. We call today smoking research. Is this the number one cigar? How could I beat it? Um, 98 number one cigar in 2020 with a 98 rating. Now here's the question, and I do have to play devil's advocate. Is this the 90? Is this the best cigar? Because and I don't know the answer to this. Is this the best cigar because it was a limited run of cigars? And I say that because the world really shut down in March. The cigar came out in September. So like I'm just assuming that through that economical climate, that some things didn't make it to market. Some things didn't really transition over or fall where they should have. The cigar making process, even though this came out in 2020, is probably a 2 year old leaf, age, things of that nature. We gotta look into that. But I do have to play devil's advocate. In that year, was this the best cigar? Because now some people are calling it, if I, to be fair, I looked it up. Some people are calling this now the best cigar in the world. That's crazy to me. You know what I mean? That's crazy to me. But like, that's the way I look at things. But 98 rating to me, that's crazy to me as well for a $12 cigar. Is it a 98 rating? No. Is it one of the best cigars I ever tasted? Yes. Would I buy this again? Of course. Would I be like this in a humidor? This would be one that's hard to share. Like cigars are meant to share with friends and smoke, and this would be one hard to share, right? Just sitting right here, I'm tell you guys as I dump some of this ash out in the cigar and put it back on the cigar stand. This is one that I'm kind of mad that you see, I kind of lit that a little awkwardly when I relit it. It's uneven and just a slightly, but we'll let that ride. I'm kind of mad that I paired some apple crown with it. Like I said, I smoked this early on in life. I didn't, exactly remember the taste palette of the cigar. And then when you pair it with something, to be 100% transparent, when you try to pair it with something um, as fruity as apple flavored cognac or whiskey, it can get very tricky with the flavor. But as you go through it, it's very dominant in flavors like cedar. I didn't say that, but now as I'm going through my palate, cedar, the smell of the cigar is great actually. Cocoa nuts, notes, cocoa nuts and stuff like that. Yeah, you taste that, and it's very prominent. The leather, as I'm getting down to maybe close to halfway through the cigar, the leather is very prominent. A couple more draws there. Yeah, it's a very enjoyable cigar. I can tell you that. Like, and then you got another thing too, right? I don't know if every cigar they releasing now is still from the original batch of 2020. I 100% know this is. The ones I'm getting in the box, are they originally the batch from 2020? Don't know. I'm assuming because when you usually make cigars of this nature, I don't know if it's a limited run or it's a new run. To be, I'm familiar with the brand, but I don't have a lot of cigars from this actual manufacturer. Um, I tend to buy, um, and like I said, I'm as I'm into this world of cigars. Most of my cigar purchases. Let me turn that. I do buy a lot of sample packs. This is the easiest way for me to taste variety. Um, so when I usually go in, just the guys know. Um, when I go into my humidor spots, my selected spaces of purchase. Ooh, that's ugly right there, right? The way it's burning. Sorry, guys. Like I said, I was doing work. I got lazy, but it is what it is. I'm enjoying it. Um, but yeah, when I go on my places, I usually buy a lot of sample packs, um, and then usually they come in packs of 5 or 6, $40 a pack in these humidor packs, or I buy a couple singles, throw them in a bag, or order sample packs off, you know, your websites or your choice, or whatever, right? And that's just a way that I can get bulk, like for for cigar, people. You find what you like. But if I like a lot of cigars, so I like to try and experiment. I can't be buying boxes of, so my values, I buy a lot of simple packs and just see what I like. And like I said, I take logs of everything. I write down everything. And that's another thing that kind of pushed me to this realm. I do write all my cigars down, my experience, and maybe I'll share that with you. I do have like a running cigar journal, right? And that's how deep I get into this. I do write down, if I love them, I keep the label and I write down the date and where I was at. I do take cigars when we on vacation. Oh yeah, that was another thing when I was talking about the cruise. I kind of left that out. Yeah, we was on a cruise, man. I bought some cigars. Um, we went on a cruise in June. I took some cigars in Miami. Shout out to Bayside Cigars. I bought some cigars there when we was in Miami. Um, had a couple at the hotel in Miami. We was there for 2 days and we got on a cruise, right? Um, it, like I met some guys on the cruise, and we actually smoked a couple cigars. Had a couple family members with me on the cruise. We smoked cigars and we chatted it up. Um, that was probably it's up there in like one of my top 5 experiences smoking cigars. That and me and my wife anniversary, we had a chill time out at a resort that we sat outside late October in the midst of the woods, and we just smoked cigars. And my wife is not really a cigar smoker, but every now and then, you know what I mean? The ambiance is right. There was a fireplace. We had some nice provided cushion seats. The weather was nice. She said, "Hey, give me one." Granted, she had a cheap one, but it was still good. I'm not gonna give her a $20 cigar to waste. And I believe I bought cigars in Miami. I bought cigars in one of our ports was Nassau, Bahamas. I did buy some cigars from there. I forgot the brand there. It's a very popular brand. For some reason, it's leaving my mental bank right now. But they also sell chocolate and all liquor and all that type of stuff. Um, so I did buy a couple of those and I brought those back. Those are in the humidor. I will start doing brand recognition on some of my favorites. I haven't really tried that one yet. I know I gave a couple out when we came back home. Those you could order from Cigar International, but I bought directly from the actual shop there. You know, the same. Another thing, while we're on this topic, I can't say anything about Nasa without their famous rum cake. If you know, for the people that don't know, when you go down there, try the rum cake. Is good. It's really good. But I tried that with a cigar on the water. We bought the rum cake back, ate it on the water on the boat, on the cruise ship. Fantastic experience. So yeah, cigars for me provides experience. It enhances my enjoyability of certain experiences. Let's say that. Which to me that adds value. Now to everybody it may not add value. But to me it definitely adds value. We're gonna do a sports check. Uh yeah, still 6-15. Jets winning. Miami don't got them dogs like we thought they had. There's gonna be a couple of dead spaces in my video. That's because I'm smoking a cigar, guys. What can I say? But yeah, man. Dang, I went 10 minutes over. Maybe I should just take it to a 4 an hour. I don't expect everybody to sit here for a 4 an hour to listen to this, but maybe you find it funny, maybe you find it egregious, but you gotta listen to it to. What I say, egregious, Jesus. But it's it's the weekend. I've been drinking. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna let my brother look at it first, and then if he tell me I need to edit it down or take some shots out, maybe I do it. But I don't plan on editing this. It's life, and I feel like I don't know if you guys agree with me, but there's too much editing going on. That's for another day. Yeah, conversation around smoke, man. I'm giving it to you. I'm gonna give it to you in the raw, man. Like I'm gonna try my best to be 100 with you guys, and that's what me and my friends we say. We call it 100. Just keep it real, and I ain't no other way. But yeah, yeah, that pepper is very prominent now, man. Like yeah, it's in my nose. And my nose is in. Yeah, the pepper taste is there. Following the fact, cocoa, yes, is there. Yeah, it's a great cigar, man, to try. Um, for me, man, let me see, because we want to talk about pairing cigars, right? If it was me, I'm trying to think what I would pair this with. Um, One of my go-tos, I don't know if I talked about it on the last cigar review. That one I didn't smoke. I smoked it prior and I talked about it. Woodford Reserve. I think there may be a good go-to for this. Let me see what else. Some Glenlivet. Um, yeah, something like that. Um, yeah, this is a nice. Yeah, I'm very happy I bought a box actually now, guys. I ain't gonna lie to you. Ain't gonna lie to you. And maybe I do an unboxing when I came in. When that comes in, I do, and I don't buy boxes often. I think the last box I bought is actually over here. Let's see what I got. The last box of cigars I bought. Oh yeah, I got it right here. This is the last box I bought. It's the Rocky Patel. I couldn't get the 90s. They was out. When I went to the actual local place, they did have the Rocky Patel, the 92. So I did buy some of those, which I'll show you the box right here for you guys. Rocky Patel. Let's see if I can get that on camera. Yeah. See that? Yep. Deluxe Toro. I think this is the 6 by 50, 6-inch, 50 gauge. Yeah, that's very. I like that cigar as well. I believe that box I caught it on sale at the humidor. Like I say sell because I know I didn't get it for a regular price, but I do things like when you spend money with some of these guys, you tend not to get everything at regular price, and that's just how life goes, right? As you become a regular, that's another thing like that I kind of miss, right? Like I'm a shoe guy. I like watches, and it's hard to go in places now and become a regular, like legit place. And I think to be honest with you, I think cigars is the last shop that you go in and be a regular. Like, you can't go into a liquor store and be a regular, and then you got a problem, like because of COVID and the way shoe prices are and shit. Everything's online. Like, you can't be a regular. I remember going to Foot Locker when I was a kid, and I used to buy shoes so much. And granted, like shoes always been my thing. Like, you know, you give you a pair of J's, a pair of Air Force Ones. God forbid, back in the day, we used to wear K-Swiss. People act like they never did. Yes, I had a white and black pair. But you go in there so much, and they throw in a pair of shoestrings. They throw in a pair of shoe cleaner. You get a pair of Tim's for the winter. Shoe cleaner used to save people's lives, right? And cigars give me that, like I said, give you that feeling again where you could be a regular. In today's world, when you say regular, that just means camaraderie, right? You going in a place where people recognize you, people see you as a contributing factor to their business, and I'm a contributing factor because I have a job and I work, and that's what I like to spend money on, and they recognize that your business is helping their business, and they promote you to come back. There's nothing wrong with that. But in today's world, right, watches. Like I like watches, going to a jewelry store and, granted I got dreads in, so now every time I go to a new jewelry store, jewelry got armed guards and shit. Like I'm not really trying to get patted down to go in to fucking spend money. I'm just not that guy. I'm not that guy. I'll walk out that boy. And I do have dreads and things of that nature, as you guys will come to acknowledge about me, but I'm just not on camera right now because I'm in PJs. Cleaning around the house. I just sit down. Hey, Jets are playing. It's football Sunday. The Bears won. Bears W. And they beat the Packers. Win-win. And, yeah, it's not a regular. And you just, to be a regular, I dropped it because I'm being an ass. But yeah, to be a regular in some places now, it's kind of unheard of. Let me take my wrapping off. It's getting close. Like I said, that's my thing. Ooh, don't want to do that. It's the first time I ever did it. Oh, it's hot. This is wrapped tight because that was the first time that ever happened to me. Where, yeah, I'm gonna keep this. Yeah, I took the bands off. I don't know. Like I have people that like to smoke a naked cigar, I guess, but I'm not. I like the bands on them. We'll call this the smoke can. I'm gonna just let you guys chill here until it's burn out, and when I end it, it's over. How about that? We call that fair. But another episode of Cigars, conversations around cigars, conversation around smoke. I gotta get that branding right. This is my branding. I'm effing it up. But hey, it's new. But yeah, man, back to what I said. Like, going to places where you're a regular now is so far in between. You're not a regular at the grocery store no more. Because usually, Just to be fair, usually when I was a kid growing up, and I'm not old, right? But like I'm starting to miss certain things. Like I'm turning into my dad. My dad just say stuff like, you know, you see, remember Cheers? Let's not even talk about dad. Remember Cheers? When everybody knew your name. I'm getting to that point where people taking my money, and don't even know my name, and I'm starting to feel a way about it. But we'll talk about that later. I'm starting to feel a way about it though. Like, in cigars that come in, I walk in the door, they're like, "Hey, Jay, I got something for you, bruh. You don't know how that feel." So like, find you, become a regular again. My man. You know, I ain't gonna say my man, but the homie. I guess he the homie, the president, everybody homie. Really not my homie, but whatever. Trump said, "Make America great again." I think we should make being a regular good again. Become a regular again. So we got to work that out. This is my thoughts, right? Because how many people at your grocery store you buy food from. And I'm granted, this is and I live in a city, right? So I know rural people, this don't count for you. Because I know, I lived in rural towns. I grew up in small areas. But like in a city life, you don't know, you never see the people in your life in the grocery store. Like as a kid growing up in the city, people in my grocery store, I knew them. I talked to the manager of the store. He knew what kind of cuts of meats my dad was ordering. He would say, "Hey, I got some, pork chops for you guys in the back. You like them cut thin." My grandmother would go in there and get fish, and um, things have changed, right? But that's my personal effect, right? I love to be at regular places. This feels good. It feels good, man. It feels good to people. And then don't be. And this is not like I said. This is not a two-way, right? When I go in, I like to call people by their name. I don't like to say "AU." Some people call that manners. Some people I just call it respect. I don't look down on nobody's job. I'm no better than the next man. So I like to share the experiences. But yeah, being regular is great, man. You go to restaurants. I go to a lot of local restaurants in my neighborhood. Just to feel like we have and I'm just talking. But I have a um, local ice cream shop around here that I try to visit at least once a week. Even if it's just to get some chocolate covered peanuts or something for my wife, just to go in and to be a regular. I have a local. We have a gun range, a local gun shop, a range that I go to. I go in and just talk to those guys, get knowledge, get wisdom, um, get some targets, see my face. You know, sometimes I don't go in and spend money all the time, but I might go in and buy a target. I might go in and just. Sometimes I go in and buy earplugs, and and I like the big places. I like the Cabela's. I like, I like those spots. But I like the small mom and pops too, just to become a regular. It's just me though. Yeah, I remember the local. Going back to the shoe game, remember the local shoe stores used to hold your J's? Uh, Hold behind the counter if you get a size 9. If I don't have my fucking size on, now I gotta get a lottery ticket. What have the world done to us? I gotta get a fucking. I stopped buying shoes because of that. Like, to be honest, I think the cigar world benefited off Nike's fucking lottery system. I'm just talking now, guys. Forgive me, this is conversation around smoke, but I'm just giving you my experience. I gotta fucking sign into an app and get into a draw for some damn shoes. Like, and don't get it twisted. I still do it. I just do it less often. To be honest, I think I bought 3 pairs of shoes this year. I think last year I bought 12, and that's the 12 I won. Bought 2 this year, 3 maybe, and because I fucking buying entering a draw for. Sorry, I'm cussing again. But yeah, man. So that's gonna be a thing. Yeah, man, this is a great cigar. And I'm not gonna hold you guys on a 98 rating. I have no bearing on that. But do I enjoy it? Yes. That's all that matters. Let's see if I can get it. I'm trying to see if I can give you guys some of that. There we go. You see them pores? That's a good leaf. It's round very tight. Like um, the last cigar I had, it unraveled on me, and I don't know if I didn't have it. I think I might have left it in my travel humidor too long. And that's another thing I'll talk about. I think the next episode I'm gonna talk about humidors and the importance of having humidors. Like, keep your humidity between 65 and 75. Some people like, I know a guy that like to keep it at like 77, but that's his doing. I say 65, 75, maybe 65, 70 for me. But sometimes, you get lazy, and I think I left it in my traveling humidor, which is, I might put a pack in there, a Barriva pack or a Boost pack, are the two brands I use. No promotion here. And I think it got a little, dare I say it, stale. And halfway through the damn cigar, it was unraveling. And it was frustrating. That's a frustrating smoke if you ever had a cigar unravel you. That's a frustrating experience because you want to smoke a cigar in peace. When you have to think too much, you have to fucking battle with an unraveling cigar, it becomes an issue. That's that's from my experience. Now, the pepper, it's still pronounced, but it is dying. I'm getting a little bit more of the cocoa and the leather taste, which is, which it would be great if I want to run back upstairs and grab some off the bar, because I kind of ran out my stock down here. I don't have nothing down here but that crown, and I don't want to go too deep. Woo. Yeah, great cigar, man. Great taste. Cigar is actually, and like I said, like you smoke cigars, and if you smoke, cigars, some, not early on, like I don't know if anybody can, contest to this or talk about this. Not every cigar, but some cigars I do get a buzz from. Not like a buzz, like high, but like you get a little. The tobacco, like I said, I don't never really smoke cigarettes. Not an avid drinker. Like I maybe drink when I have a cigar. I'm not like drinking every day. To be fair, a bottle of Crown Royal probably lasts me the whole month and a half. Um, I'm just not an avid drinker. So, but I do pair my cigars with this experience. And if a conversation is around smoke, having drinks, it probably have me, talk a little bit more. Um, but yeah, great cigar, cocoa. That cocoa taste, like I said, the pepper is dying down, but I am getting that leather. Yeah, yes, there. Good smoke, man. Now we go back. Yeah, I'm about a little over halfway through the cigar right now, as you can see. A little halfway through. Um, this EP Carrillo. I did have, I'm talking, so I did have to touch up this cigar a couple times with the lighter, but that's no big deal, right? It's what we do as cigar smokers. Um, and then by being a regular, I got a lighter just laying around. That'd be the first thing cigar shops give to me. Are there locally brand lighters? Because to be honest, I don't buy lighters anymore. Um, I don't really buy cutters anymore. If you want me to buy if you want me to buy some cigars from any municipality or locale, tell me you're gonna throw in a lighter and a cutter. I'm gonna be there to buy something. Cause I'm gonna buy it anyway, and I like to get free shit. Like it is what it is. It is what it is. And I know I swear I'm swearing on here, but that's how I talk. My mother don't like it either. So, but man, 98 rating. That's as we smoking this. I don't know if every episode will go an hour, but this one's definitely out over an hour. I'm doing it right. And for the average YouTube viewer, this is gonna be a little boring, but to you cigar smokers, put it on, smoke your cigar with me. But yeah. As I'm halfway through the cigar, um, it's burning very evenly. That's another thing, man. Like cigars that burn evenly, and in my book, that's golden, right? Um, and it's holding up. Like I know having cigars that unwrap is one thing, but sometimes I have cigars just because sometimes if it's not wound as tight, the heat at the end. I don't know if it's everybody. Maybe I didn't light it right. Like sometimes I do fub the lighting processes. I be eager sometimes, or I be rushing, or I be I be multitasking. But now I'm taking the time to sit back and talk to you guys. This cigar is holding up very very well. Like this is a short body cigar. Um, Actually, I don't know if they come in a bigger size. They should. But sometimes what I like to do if I don't have enough time to smoke a whole full body cigar, I do cut the end of sometimes at the tip, and then I come back and get it maybe a day later. I'll stick it in the travel humidor case and just make sure I come back and touch it up and finish it off. Like on today's Sunday, so if I wouldn't finish this cigar, I'm definitely finishing this one. But if I didn't finish, I'll probably touch it back up on Monday Night Football. Um, um, and that's a great thing to do as well because football is it's one of the things where my family allows me to be alone, and they appreciate and they respect that time. When I say I'm going to have a cigar, it's the one time that my daughter don't yell daddy. That's another thing, guys. Cigars is a great independent time. But now my dog is coming down here. She know when it's a long time she can get her when I'm down smoking cigars. She usually sneak into the dog food bowl, and I can care less, right? But she's walking around here looking, sniffing, knocking shit over. She's an old dog, so she get privilege. Another thing too, guys, I'm gonna show you the back of my cigar. I think sometimes um, you say I just cut the nub off. I think a lot of people don't understand. Like early on, that affects your smoke as well. Um, let's see if I can get it. You see, it's very small. That's the piece that came off. If you can see that right in the camera shot, that is the only piece that comes off of the back end of my cigars. But granted, when I first started smoking, I used to cut like a big. I'm gonna say, I used to just be real. I used to cut a lot of the fucking cigar off, like. And this is another thing. I was at the cigar shop, and the guy said, "Whoa, what are you doing?" He kind of like checked me, like it was funny. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm cutting my cigar. He's like, "Why you cutting so much?" He said, he leaned into me. He said, "You know, you paid for that, right?" And it dawned on me, like, and then I was like, "What?" I was cutting the end off, but and he actually showed me, and we talked about it a little bit, and then but then when I started noticing, is that affects your smoke, it affects the flavor, it affects the palate. To me, I noticed it. Now I don't know if every cigar smoker notice it, but I noticed it. This is some ash I will clean up. Don't worry about it. Um, but yeah, that's another thing I want to call out. Please be respectful of how you cut your cigar. And we can get into that. Maybe I'll share some of that. I get some guys on camera that know much more about this thing than me. Um, you know what I mean? In my life of cigars, I've been blessed to get some knowledge from some guys that know cigars on a more of a personal level, personal note, been smoking all their lives. I met a guy, I walked in his house, and he had an in-house humidor. Like a personal friend had an in-house humidor, work friend, work buddy, mentor, if I would say, on site. He had a walk. It blew my mind. Um, that's things I try to strive to. And that walk-in humidor was very small, but he had about 1,300 cigars, and that was crazy to me because I thought I was doing something crazy when I got a 95 in the humidor right now, and that's just one humidor. I got probably another 30 in one, a couple seven or something in my travel. And we'll get into that later when I do a humidor check. Show you guys what I got in the collection or in the vault. Um, like I said earlier on in his conversations around smoke, I treat it like basketball cards, man. I might buy them and hold them, cheap ones. You never know. Role players are role players, and star players are star players. Everybody got a position on the team. Yeah, man. Getting to the end of the cigar, the overall construction is excellent. I probably, if I wasn't talking this cigar, I probably would never need a touch up. Um, Even easy draws, man. Easy draws. So I can see how you can get to that 98 rating. I really can. I'm just not. I'm not gonna be the guy that justify it, but I can see how you can get there. It's a great cigar. Yeah, a great cigar. Not much left on this cigar as I'm smoking it. Yeah, yeah. You get it at the end of the cigar. I'm getting a lot of creamy cedar notes. Cocoa is very prominent. Um, at the end, it's creamy, probably leather than cocoa, but I tasted the cocoa a little bit. The pepper that I was getting early on was kind of subsided, but I can still taste it slightly, but it's there. Um, it's a I don't know. I'm starting to taste a little vanilla at the end. I'm about to look up the cigar and see if it's there. Get a little vanilla bean or something. Um, that's not unfamiliar with this type of smoke. I believe another cigar that I was cigars I was blessed with some. I can't think of the name of the particular. I know the brand is the Nub, but I don't know the particular model of or signia of that cigar. But that was one of the cigars that I smoked, and it was very flavorful. It had very prominence of cocoa and vanilla in it. So I'm starting to taste that a little bit here at the end. I don't know if that's sprinkled out through like the wrapper or the tobacco itself, but I am starting to get a little vanilla bean. At the end of this, that cedar and that leather is very relaxing. Because when you first hit it, you get that bold flavor, the pepper, the cocoa, and it's very even in the smoke a little bit. You was getting that flavor, but now it's kind of as I'm getting through the last couple, the last legs of the cigars, kind of like it revved me up and then slowing me down a little bit to enjoy. Like I'm yeah, I can see how you can get to the 98 rating. And I think another thing about cigars, when you smoke cigars and you find out what you like, um, I said before and I said again, it's a blessing to find out what you would like and enjoy. This is when I like. So when you start finding like the palettes and stuff you like, um, that's when it becomes very enjoyable. And then you know what you like, and then you can try to step out. And then it's always fair game to go into the cigar shop and be like, hey, I like the I like the say if I go in the cigar and I tell him I like this prequel. He said, hey, have you tried this? I remember I told my favorites, one of my favorite cheap brands is the actual Chili Moose. Um, and we talked about it, and he was like, yeah, a lot of people, I thought I was onto something. And he was like, yeah, a lot of people actually likes that cigar as far as the price point and what it brings. Um, and then he put me on, I think the second iteration of this cigar is called the Shady Moose. Comes in a yellow box. I do like that cigar as well, just not as much as the Chilla Moose. I don't know why. Um, maybe just because it was the first one I was introduced to. But I do have a couple of Shady Mooses out there. But he gave me that one because I said I liked the Chili Moose. He's like, try these, and he gave me two of the Shady Mooses. When I was picking up my box of the Chili Moose. So when you get to know your palate, that's when I say when it's value in becoming a regular, it's value in sharing your likes with people, right? It's a value in that. Like I like watches. Right now, as I'm sitting here talking to you guys, like I'm a Citizen, which is one of my favorite brands because of the Eco Drive. Uh, when I first got into watches, spending money on watches, it's an escalation period, right? You get certain brands you like. Citizen was for me at that time in my life was a great price point. Then you got outside of your Movados. So I respect what the Citizen brand does for the everyday man. Before you start getting into your Tagos, your Omegas, dare you say your Rolexes and things of that nature. But um, I have a couple Citizens that I just love for the Eco Drive. I love for the fact that I can wear them every day. I can bang some of them up. Um, the one I got on right now is a stainless steel casing, so I wear it for a year, maybe take it in and get it polished again, and wear it again for another year. And it's one of the things that you don't have to worry about a battery and things of nature. And then once you start, they start knowing what you like and watches and things of nature. People are, they treat you accordingly. Um, you start getting things, you start getting introduced to other things. Um, and dare I say it, right? If you're a guy like me, that's I try to involve myself in. I'm very entrepreneurial, so I try to involve my things in things that can guide some type of business relationship. Shoes don't really, I know people ask you, like, oh, I like your shoes and stuff like. It started a conversation, but in the business world, nothing starts a conversation. Dare I say it, in watches and cigars. Like, um, and that's just the facts from my personal experience, right? I had people talk to me about watches. I had war. I had seen watches and recognized watches on other people's arm, and say, "Hey, I like that." Tell them about it, and he look at me like, "Oh, and we talk about it, and it just open the cigars. It's the same thing. Um, Another thing about the cigar life that I was very naive about. A lot of women smoke cigars, man. That's dope to me. Like it's another factor that I don't think I am a victim of watching stuff on YouTube and getting the information. I think it's underrepresentative of how many African Americans smoke cigars and then how many women in general smoke cigars. That to me is very underrepresented in this form. Am I here to change it? I'm gonna try to introduce some people, but I'm not. I'm just stating the facts. Um, I know about 5, 6 people offhand that smoke cigars, women that smoke cigars on a regular basis. That got humidors that ravel. I ain't. Let's be fair. I know a lady that got a cigar collection that makes it dwarfs mine, right? She got it, and the cool thing about that, right? When I talk to women that smoke cigars, um, they usually say they got it from their dad, which I think is a very commendable aspect of life, right? That a young lady can say she picked up something from her father that she partake in, right? I have a daughter. I'm not saying that I want her to smoke cigars, but I'm saying if it's something that she does into womanhood, it's another factor that we can share outside of the father-daughter relationship. And I think that's pretty dope. That a lot of people we don't, we need to address that. I think it's very commendable. Um, yeah, man. At the very bottom of this, it's very creamy. It's, and then this, and I talked about this. Really, $12. Like it, I don't want to, start a riot, but if they sold this cigar for 15, $17, I wouldn't be offended. Now, consistency is something that you got to worry about cigars when you start, when they put that price point, when they put that, I ain't gonna say price point, they put that rate on here. Um, that's something I got to look into. See if this is gonna be the original batch I'm getting from the box. Are they still popping? Are they still producing the same quality? But from a brand as popular, as well known as the Carrillo, um, from what I've been hearing, some people think he makes some of the best cigars in the world. So, I can't see them saying that if the consistency is not there. But I got to call it out as a cigar smoker, right? You know, everything I do, consistency plays a part into anything that we buy. You know, um, anyway, I share with you guys I do own a Tesla, and that was one of the things that if you're a Tesla owner, that during my process of buying that car, there was some consistency factors that they come from the production floor that a lot of people was telling me about when you do your research. Um, so cigars the same thing. Like, do consistency hold up? Like now, from what I know, and then granted, I'm a better cigar smoker than I was 4 years ago. So did I enjoy the smoke as much as I did 4 years ago? I don't know. I treated it as a new cigar. I was very open to it. I do have notes here, and just maybe 5 or 6 notes. Usually I have a whole page, so when I have 5 or 6 notes, that means I was really enjoying the cigar, and I forgot about the note taking. So that's one thing. But one thing I did is I put at the top enjoyable, um, and this was, and I, here's another side note. Best Christmas, right? It was one of the Christmas that I tried to fulfill within my family. It was COVID, so it was one of the Christmas that we really had fun at the house. Um, I think that was my year my daughter got her Switch. We kind of really was playing Dance all day, if I remember this correctly. And then that night, I smoked a cigar around that time. I don't know if it was Christmas or before Christmas or New, but whatever, it was around that time. Um, so it was enjoyable. I did put it at the top, and now this is enjoyable. Um, so yeah, try it out. This is the Pledge, the prequel by Carrillo, Perez Carrillo, or however you want to say it. I think I'm gonna end this here, guys, as I'm smoking the bottom half of this. I'm gonna go over and check the score again. The Jets is still winning. Miami is not gonna make it to the playoffs. It looks like that's on them though. And I'm gonna post this to YouTube under conversations around smoke. This is Sunday Fun Day, as they said in Houston when I was down there. They have a Sunday Fun Day in Houston. If you smoke cigars and go to Houston, Sunday Fun Day is down there. I'm gonna talk a lot about things that I experienced and share with you guys. I want you guys to go experience it too. Houston was a spot that I enjoyed over the summer. They had something called Sunday Fun Day, so I started saying that slogan when I came back because we had so much fun on a Sunday. So Sunday Fun Day. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it quits here. Until next time, guys, enjoy your smoke, have fun, and do things that are enjoyable. And I'm gonna share one thing that my father always shared with me is God, family, and fun. And now if you can say that with me, God, family, and fun, keep that in mind, and you can never go wrong with that, right? And fun has an asterisk on it. As long as you could do something that's fun and it's enjoyable to you, that doesn't affect society in a negative way, that's how you have fun responsibly. With that being said, I'm going to sign off on here, and I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your day. Go pick up a smoke and let me know what you're smoking on in the comments. All right, thanks for joining. Thanks for listening. Enjoy your smoke.